the softness under her eyes has built as compared to the sharpness to do her highlighting. So for that, I'm using this kit a little bit on the tip of her nose. Go under her eyes and actually give her a little bit of definition. I'm gonna use the same blue that I used earlier. You can stretch a little bit and you can start putting the color in. You might want to do small strokes the way I'm doing it so that you don't irritate the client's eye. If your client is used to putting her kajal every day or this and that, then it might not actually be a problem. You could go all over at once, but I still like to keep it slow. I don't want my client's eye to start watering. Same thing on the other side. Stretch the eye a little bit so you can see the waterline clearly, and that is when you put the product in. If you don't stretch the eye and you can't see the waterline, that is when there is a chance that you'll make a mistake and you'll probably poke the client's eye, in which case it might start watering. I can simply smudge the excess just like so. Okay. So when you go into the inner corner, you want to be extra careful. You don't want this particular color to become too thick in the inner corner. I'm cleaning my brush on my tissue so there's no extra product there, and that's when I'll start smudging in the inner corner. So the inner corner has to be slightly thinner as compared to the rest of the smudge. If you feel that you want to thicken this up, you can. Doing the same thing on the other side. So for this, your client does have to keep looking up, because if they're looking down, the under eye skin is not stretched and you won't actually be able to do what you're doing. Once I am through with this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the colors that I was using earlier. So this one is by Huda Beauty. This is again a flat brush. You can see what it looks like. This is by Morphe, the same set 702, and you want to put it under her eyes just like so. And again, when you are going to the inner corner, you want to make sure that it's thinner than what you just did on the outer corner. You don't want the thickness to be same throughout. And lastly, I'm gonna use my brush, which is MAC 219. The blush that I used earlier, this one from Bobbi Brown. This one is in shade Tawny 2. And this is the one that I initially used in her crease. I'm just using it to kind of smooth out the whole under eye smudging that we've done so that it looks like skin. I mean, it won't look like skin, but it does get merged properly. So if you use the darker color, and no matter how much you smudge it, it will not give you the same effect. So you want to use a lighter color, something like this. And okay, so if you can look straight, you guys can see how the softness under her eyes has built as compared to the sharpness. So this softness under her eyes is very, very important. This is what will differentiate your makeup from the rest. And now for the shade that you had put under her eyes, I'm gonna use this flat brush. This is again by Morphe, same set, which is 702. And I'm gonna use this particular shadow that we used earlier. And I'm gonna try and place this color right in the middle. Not on the whole lid, just right in the middle. That's where we had initially put shimmer color on her eyelid as well. Okay, so I'm also going to use a little bit of glitter on her eyes. So this one is Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter, and it's in the shade Spandex, and that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm simply gonna just slide my brush on top right in the center. I've done almost 3 layers, and that seems like enough. And you only want to concentrate the glitter on the center of the eyelid. So now I'm gonna actually show you how to do your eyebrows. Here, this is from Anastasia. This is the Dip Brow Pomade. I'm gonna start again with her outer corner, and the brush that I'm using is an angled brush. It is again by Bombay Vanity. There's no number to it, I'm so sorry. But it's a very thin angled brush. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to fill her eyebrows in with the brow, with the pomade. And starting from the inner corner, I am making a line to kind of define her eyebrows. And then in the front, you want to make some hair-like strokes. So this way. So you can see the difference it's already created. Not done much, just a layer of this particular product. And I am going to use a little bit more to fill her eyebrows. So if I ever want to see if I've started my eyelash correctly, I can just check from the corner of her nose. I want to check right here, and that's where her eyebrow should start from. So once we're done with the brows, our look is almost done. I want to use this glitter from this palette. This is a Crazy palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'll use this color, Wasted. I'm going to put it in her inner corner. Close. And I do feel I need something stronger. Okay, so I'm gonna try this particular color right here from the Amethyst palette. Yeah. And I am loving the color. So there's no hard and fast rule. If you're ever trying to work with an eye look, you can also use a different color. The idea is to use a shimmery color, which does have a little bit of a glittery tinge to it in the inner corners to brighten the area. The inner corner looks best if it's brightened nicely. And again, you want to make sure that you can't see where exactly the color started from. And for her lips, I am going to be using this particular lip color right here by Klara Cosmetics. So this one here is by Klara Cosmetics. It's their number 20. It's a nice nude color, but I'm gonna first try it on her as to what it looks like. That's what it is. So I'm using this brush. This is by Morphe. This is E19, and I'm gonna take a little bit. I do feel that this color alone is washing her out. And adding this color right here. So this is again by Klara Cosmetics. It's called Sienna Nude. This one's a proper peach. I've taken a little bit. I'm gonna mix these two and see what I get and if I'm happy with it. So I'm taking very little Sienna Nude, and most of that is the previous color that I was using, the number 20. I'm not trying to alter the shape of her lips because they're just very, very beautiful as is. All right, so I'm now going to do her highlighting. So for that, I'm using this kit. This is the Glow Kit in shade Sun Dip. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am just simply going to use this particular shade Summer. It is hitting her in the right ways. I can actually see where my highlighter is going. So you want to make sure that the light is hitting the client in this direction so you can exactly see where your highlighter is being applied and what's the intensity. And for an evening look, the highlighting can be a little extra. It really won't hurt. It just looks very nice and subtle and dewy. And just on this side of her forehead, a little bit on the tip of her nose, a little bit right here. So you can also do this on her collarbone a little bit. So this area looks nice and shiny. You can hold that for me, please. One more thing that I want to do before we stop today is I'm going to use this palette. This is Crazy palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm using this particular shade right here. This is basically to highlight her inner corner. I do feel that highlighting is not showing up as much as I would like it to, for the look to kind of complete. It does look very, very flattering. I hope you guys can see the difference that this particular step made. So this is our final look today. We have done a very glam evening kind of look for my model Devyana. I hope you guys can see how we very intricately did her eyes. We tried to kind of imitate the color of her dress on her eyes, and we kept the lips kind of on the nude side, but still pink goes very well with the blue, so that's what we've used. I really hope you guys enjoyed the class and learned something new. Till next time, see you, bye bye.